All right, we're back again with more Jocat. Today we're going to be looking at two specific videos I've been putting off because I was like, yeah, it would be awesome watching these on a really shitty day. But then I gave up because today's a perfectly fine day. I just wanted to watch them, and I'm giving in to temptation. So we're going to jump right into both a crap guide to Final Fantasy DPS and a crap guide to Meele DPS in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy XIV other than what Joke has previously put in. And the 5 minutes I downloaded the game for trial and then forgot for a week and couldn't get it back in. I've been told I can start the game all over now and just do a free up until like multiple DPS DLCs later. I'm probably going to do that after watching these videos. I am very easily convinced by cool videos, and Jocat has an unfortunate habit of doing that. All of the D&D books I've bought in since watching his stuff in Dingoes and Puffins. Yeah. Impulse control. I don't have it. So we're going to jump right in. You guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And when you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started.
Everybody likes to do damage, and don't pretend like you don't, because I know you're lying. Otherwise,
No,
why
that's
would you
accurate.
be playing an RPG with core mechanics such
Wait,
as leveling up, getting stronger, and looking
That's his actual
fashionable
armor.
as
Nice.
fuck? It's to do massive numbers on the other guys until their numbers are so small they match the PP size of anybody who doesn't commend at the end of a duty.
People who commend the healer? People who commend the DPS. People who commend or don't commend anyone. Going to just go out on a limb here. I'm assuming commend is kind of like a recognition after a joint mission. Like, hey, here's a click a button to say this person did good. I don't know. I really want to play this game.
The other members
Sounds
leaving
awesome.
too quickly is no excuse. How do you expect to move quick enough to avoid AoEs if you can't even move quick enough to tell your allies they're doing a great job and that their glamour is sexy? Is that uncharacteristic?
I'm sorry, what did that just say? Okay, yeah. I saw a nice shaft, bro.
To tell your allies they're doing a great
nice
job
shaft,
and that their
bro.
glamour is
Aw, thanks, dude, but maybe you should also
sexy.
Dead.
Is that uncharacteristic?
Wait, was that a dragon? What the hell did he just put in there? Okay, it was literally just well, okay, and it. Oh my! Death by Tookus. We're going that far, apparently.
Is that uncharacteristically nice of me?
Also,
Maybe,
I love
but
just
it means I
editing
get
that
to
in.
steal the LB3 from the only melee in the
8th
group.
Umbral
Welcome to a
Weekly?
Crap Guide to Final Fantasy.
Hey, they got the shield! And it has a little wiggly head on it, too. Nice. I wonder if they're ever going to patch an armor that actually lets him do the full
Today I'm
Monster
going to be
Hunter
talking
outfit.
about every job. That's right. What, you thought only the DPS have the DPS? Boy, I could slap you with my overflowing glamour dresser. Damage is the
Wait,
name of the game
what?
in Final Fantasy XIV, and the entirety of the game is designed around everybody dealing it, including the tanks and the healers.
Oh yeah, BC mentioned the previous healer option. There's healers, and then there's healers. Preventative medicine, specifically death for everything, which is why I want to play this game, because that actually sounds fun.
The DPS
Also
roles are
lasers.
contributing 60% of the damage. Tanks and healers are the ones who fill in the other 40. So
Oh.
if you don't contribute, you belong in the garbage chute. So don't
Zero
get so hung
DPS?
up on the role names. Everybody is a DPS. What I mean
Oh.
specifically is that one, not only is FF14 a cooperative game, which means anytime you waste is not only yours, but also anybody else in your party
Ew.
as well. And two, every combat feature in FF14 is designed with dealing damage in mind. Healers and tanks get skills that actively promote doing more DPS.
Oh.
Hell, Sage is a healer whose skills actively benefit from doing DPS. And most importantly,
Oh,
of
so
all,
you heal better by
Rage.
hurting
Rage
people?
Is what happens
Nice.
when you overstay your welcome in a dungeon or boss arena, and the residents have run out of things to talk about and are just really ready for you to leave so they can finally go poop without being worried that you're going to steal all their old DreamWorks DVDs. That is to say, you're either forcefully kicked out or alternatively, they instantly murder you. How do you
Okay, two questions. One, that is a horribly evil mechanic. It's putting a time limit on any dungeon. Two, that is an adorable little murder machine. It's like, kick it out, or stabby. Just adorable. I feel like that's specifically with someone in mind. Either a player character or an NPC, and I don't know which.
murder you? How do you prevent this from happening? You
Murder
murder
faster?
them first, of course, and then you pop in a copy of Shrek 2 so you can watch the castle siege again. And guess what?
Oh, yeah.
The later
I actually
and
never
later in
saw
the
that
game
part.
you get,
Wow.
the more and more frequent enrages start to appear. And they'll
Gotta
have
go
more
fast,
and more
go too
health
slow.
too. So if somebody
Generally-
decides
wait,
they
what did
just
that
don't
say?
feel like
Okay, one, why? Just is there a swimming mechanic I'm not aware of? Okay, the white healer looking just completely done with this shit. Makes sense. I have questions. A lot of questions. Gets upset if you go too fast. Gets upset if you go too slow. Gets upset just generally all the time. I have so many questions. With the too fast one, it actually would bug me because, I mean, that almost sounds like is that a boss designed to punish stronger players? They wouldn't actually put in a boss that has damage scaling based on the player level, specifically to increase it, would they? That you actually need to find people who just start or create a new character to tank? Because while they'll die fast, they can actually survive more than one hit. That sounds like such a stupid mechanic. It might exist. Maybe not in this game. It seems like the kind of dumb thing that would actually exist.
The more and more frequent enrages start to appear, and they'll have more and more
also,
help
I just realized
too.
Trash
So if
Against
somebody
Legos.
decides they just don't feel like they want to cooperate in this team game they decided to play,
Yeah.
and now the boss
Annihilate
has
literally
an eighth of its health
everyone.
left and is about to destroy the entire
Yep.
universe, Princess Fiona isn't going to be the only one who will need a hero. Hopefully it's been drilled into your head now that DPSing is essential, not just for
Yes.
the jobs with the title sticker, but also anyone in a fancy robe or edgy trench coat as well. Now that you know
get
that,
trench
how does
coats?
one go about dealing max deeps?
I like
The
'em.
first most basic thing is to do your combos. Press a button. See another button light up? Press that one. Congratulations, you have successfully completed a combo. And doing so will reap a myriad of
Button
benefits, from
pressing.
putting damage over time on your target, gaining mana, doing your taxes, or any
Hey.
variety of other additional effects. But mostly it all
I'm sorry. He put in his like little chibi figure before doing combos, and then after doing combos. Wiggly Hat, Jocat, or Joe Crap. I know he's actually called, but I just think Wiggly Hat is just funnier because I get to say Wiggly. It's a personal thing. I just do it anyways.
additional effects. But mostly it all achieves the same goal of dealing more damage. Secondly, you want to press these skills
his
that
name
the
is
game
Victor
labels as
Quibbles?
abilities and the community calls off-global cooldowns, or OGCDs
What?
for short. More like OGCDs nuts! I personally call them free damage buttons. They cost you nothing and there's literally no reason not to press them while your normal cooldown is rolling. But this one has a long cooldown. What if I need it later? No, it doesn't. Shut up. The cooldowns in this game are so short you might as well press them because by the time you need them again, whoop, they're back up. Not to mention, many jobs require you to press those free damage buttons to unlock even spankier damage buttons. So use your goddamn free damage buttons.
I mean, on the one hand, yeah. On the other hand, he's quickly getting into territory of, oh shit, no. I, as someone who has absolutely shit memory, is like, okay, I need to press 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 goes into R, R into F, F into D, but I need to press a keypad to turn D off so it actually does the damage button. It's like, I also just realized he's wearing an artichoke or a cabbage. I don't know which one. That's weird. Not the bird head, not the gimp suit, the cabbage. The cabbage is weird. Or artichoke. But yeah, button overload. Boy, no, that would literally make me have a panic attack.
It's free damage.
Oh, you
The
can see
next
his
rule of
eyes in there.
DPSing is knowing your ABCs. Always be casting. This means mashing
Really?
away at your keyboard like a tickle monster working double time. More specifically, it means that the best
Oh
way
God,
to
look
make
at all
sure
those
you are doing
buttons.
the most damage that you can is to always have your global cooldown going, even if it means accidentally pressing the wrong skill like the single brain cell that you are. Because if you're always pressing buttons,
Fun if
even
I had
the
a single
suboptimal
brain
one,
skill.
you are doing more damage than if you weren't. And doing
So,
damage is
take your
always
pick, it's
better
probably
than
right
not
either
doing
way.
damage. Yes, even Scathe. Here's a live
Scathe?
example with my two subjects, Jan and Chloe. They both deal 1 million damage and suddenly the boss flies out of melee range.
Damn.
Jan sits there waiting patiently for the boss to return before she can start doing 1 million damage again. Meanwhile, Chloe's pressing the deal 1 damage at a range button the entire time they're waiting. I asked
Why?
you, puny viewer, which person is dealing more damage right now? Yeah, but it's only 1 damage. Who's dealing more damage? As if any fight is going to get so close that dealing... Who is dealing more damage?
Oh, fuck
Sure.
me, man. What the absolute hell is that? Okay, the wiggly eyes, sure. The squiggles on them. The fact that the rest of his... Let's go with neck opened up, and there's eyes in it, and the stitches, and it looks like it's kind of wrinkled, and oh, it's bursting at the seam, and... I didn't realize Jocat could draw horror effectively, and I am not okay with finding this part out.
Damage? Sure, it might not look like much, but it's going to matter when they fight the boss that has 3 million and 2 health and they wipe all because the other DPS decided
Does
they
that
don't
actually
press
happen?
buttons. It's such
Like, does it
little
ever get that
DPS,
close?
It won't make a difference.
Someone's gonna tell me it
Jan.
does.
Now, one of the best things you should do to improve your damage in Final Fantasy XIV is this. It's really simple. I want you to lean in. It's a super simple thing. Here, come
Do
close.
more?
I'm going to say the thing. Are you
Punch him
ready?
harder?
Okay, here it goes. Read your tooltips.
Should you
the
have
little
to
block
read?
of text that literally tells you what your skills do.
It's like being in Magic and
Honestly,
actually reading your
you'd
own
be surprised
cards.
how
Why
many
would
people
anyone
queue into
do
an
that?
expert dungeon and never realize they have a skill that can attack.
I'm just going to wait a second for everyone who just heard what I said to have that panic attack, the aneurysm, and the sheer amount of murderous intensity that they want to direct at me. That should have been long enough. And yeah, it is Victor Quibbles. That's such a cool name. Just, yeah.
Multiple targets, even all the things I tell you in this video, the combos, the range attacks, the AoE damage skills, the free damage buttons. The best way to know what your job is capable of is by reading your job skill tooltips yourself. So you
Stone.
better read your goddamn tooltips, because if I see another player not knowing about their AoE combo and a mob pull at level 80, I'm gonna grab the nearest etherite and bash you so hard you're gonna be teleported to the final resting place of every RPR's used undergarments. With all that out of the way, you'd think I'd
Oh, no. Considering some RPers and undergarments, specifically cons, are multiple days without changing, and if it's the final resting place, it's that one where it's like, yeah, we got about a month-long process here. I don't have a change. Yeah, we'll just tell people they were naturally that shade of grayish brown, and the mold is completely an aesthetic choice. Ew. Also, how the hell do you reach level 80 in a game and not just know that shit? And I'm pretty sure he's not joking. I'm trying to convince myself he's not, but I fully believe he's completely serious there. And you get 80 levels in this game without knowing how to use, like I would say early on, like someone who's a noob like me, not knowing, sure, fine. But that's like going into a DPS, well, not DPS, like a FPS game and not understanding the concept of shooting the enemy or, you know, not getting hit. No, actually, I've played Destiny a long time. There's a lot of people I know who walk into death zones because they didn't realize it was a death zone, even though they watch people die in it. I was like, hey, what happens if we let this giant orb go off that everyone else is shooting? I'm going to ignore it. No, never mind. This is a perfectly valid complaint. I, in fact, have examples of my own to just... I really wish I didn't remember this part. This is annoying.
Covered everything you need to do to be an ultimate clearing badass, right? Unfortunately, not Waffle Face, because the final responsibility every single role in Final Fantasy XIV shares is not dying. Oh, sure, the healers help, but most of the time your own survival is on you and only you. And that means making sure you do the fight mechanics and don't
So it's like one-shot kills everyone. Oh, God, it's also like...
Sorry, are you in the middle of your cast? You want to try and hit that purple part?
Can you cancel
like
a cast?
That's too damn bad! Each time you take damage, it means the healer has to heal you and they're dealing less damage. And on top of that, you get this cheese puff called a vulnerability stack. For each stack you have, you take more and more damage until you get one shot when the enemy farts in your general direction. All this
Dragon butts everywhere.
Avoid enemy damage, you will not only make the healer do less DPS, but you're also likely going to die, which means 0 DPS.
Dragon or
and if you still think that's not a big deal and the healers can just res you, each time you die, you get a dunce cap of shame that reduces your DPS even more for about as long as a red light in Philadelphia. So you better stay alive.
Okay, we don't joke about those red lights.
Rescue you into an
No, Jocat. You don't joke about red lights in Philadelphia. That's a death sentence. Like, you're there, you're waiting. An hour later, you might get bored, drive through, and get hit by the one car that happened to be on the road. In the entire hour, that light just decided now is the time and it actually need to be useful, but no, it's just going to be red. I have family in Philly. I have made the mistake of going to see them in Philly. Still less frustrating than driving through New York, but not by much.
AoE and kill you myself. To recap, everybody's DPS matters. Press your free damage buttons. Always be casting. Read your tooltips. Stay alive. But even if you keep all those things in mind, the #1 rule to improve your DPS performance is to practice. Striking dummies are all over the goddamn place, out in the overworld, and even in the yards of some random people's houses in the residential districts. So if you see one, there's no shame in whacking it a few times like you're auditioning to be a dominatrix. I'm sure the
so it's literally showing people how to play the game and making sure they have plenty of practice time. No one uses it, do they?
So go and do that doing so that one day you too can do this and make everybody else look like doo-doo because of how good your doing skills are. And with how much doing you'll be doing, maybe someday you too can clear an ultimate and get a shiny ass weapon of your own to show off to people AFKing at the Limsa Aetheryte Plaza. Just know the difference between
I'm just gonna go back a second because holy shit, that was shiny! Look at that! It has like clocks and a motif around it and the sparkles. I mean, it's like a Kingdom Hearts Keyblade entry effect, but the effect never goes away. Oh. My collector senses are tingling, and unfortunately I have no resistance to them.
The Aetheryte Plaza. Just know the difference between an amateur and a master is that a master has failed way more times. By the way, get ready for a party wipe. Wait,
I mean,
what?
To be fair, an amateur also would fail a lot. Oh, and they're all dead.
Congratulations, you're now better at the game than you were 5 seconds ago. Oh.
Yeah, that's debatable. I've seen a lot of people not get better.
You're welcome. Oh, finally, my queue just popped.
What?
No, one of the other party members.
It's just finding new party members. Please tell me that this is actually something he was doing in the background while making this video, and making the video was faster. Just tell me somewhere in the comments on the original video that he actually talked about this, or maybe like a Discord or somewhere, that these comments are because this is how long it took him to find a match and it dropped right away. I would just find that hilarious.
Members withdrew. Ah, fuck.
And next up, we have the, I guess, second half, the Meele DPS, which is different from the normal DPS because I guess DPS in general is just everyone does it. And this is specifically the people who do it in close combat. I got nothing else here, mostly because I don't play this game yet. Although, I am very tempted because, oh god, those shiny weapons were so shiny. I'm being tempted by shiny. I am literally having a squirrel moment right now. God damn it, Jocat.
LunarCon!
Whoa!
LunarCon! 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 LunarCon is a free player-run in-game convention in Final Fantasy
It's
XIV,
so
and
weird
happening
not to
really
see him with
soon.
the
It takes place on the
chocobo
Crystal
head
Data Center,
or
so
some kind
better
of
start
weird
your
head on
PC
his head.
travels
What the
now,
hell?
Boy, oh boy, it's gonna be packed when it happens.
2B?
But what happens
because,
in
yeah, Square
LunarCon?
Enix.
Performances, panels, interviews, contests, art parties, roleplay venues, hangouts, raid stuff, special guests, turtles.
I have no idea what any of this is because I don't know anything about this. Looks cool though. Was that a what the?
Rin Karagani.
Was that a Genshin character though?
Esprit. Stall. Todd Howard giving away copies of Oblivion. Pine. Some
At least it's Oblivion, not Skyrim again. No, he makes you pay for those.
What?
They actually have in-game DJs?
How many other things?
Or DJs brought in-game?
Seriously, I meant to get this video out like 2 weeks ago so that I'd promote the event a little bit earlier so that there'd be more time for people to prepare, but like time got away from me. I'm so sorry. July 29th to the
Please
31st.
say this
LunarCon.net.
24. Oh, it was literally just a few days before, not even a full week.
Info.
It's so weird because the character looks exactly as he draws his own character. Or at least the
Everyone
non-Jocat
always
one.
says you should be a team player, but honestly, I've always felt like the best way to help the team is by crushing whatever obstacle that's in the way with my heavily toned squat receipts. So that's it. No more playing for anybody else. I play for me, baby. Any reason the raid wipes from now on is no longer my fault. I only exist to make big numbers fly towards the screen and watch my skill bar light up like a Christmas.
Okay, I just want to go back to watch that. There's just something inherently awesome about going power and just shooting something with all the murder. Does it go higher at all, or is that where it stays? Oh, and it didn't go over 9 million. So close. 9,000, yes, but we don't go for that one anymore. We need much higher numbers. Also, tell me this is a real number, because I just think that would be hilarious. Oh, god damn it, this is tempting even more than the last one.
My skill bar light up like a Christmas tree at a rave party. And you bet your precious patoot the progress preventers will be promptly pounded because this potent projector of pain will be peppering those beasties until your pack is paved with enough resulting pellets that every peddler will pray to be pampered by a more palatable pacifist.
And random Gandhi for pacifist, of course.
Final Fantasy.
Oh, he didn't do anything for the regular Melee one. Huh. No, actually, that's kind of weird because we got the shield, we got the caster. Is this a flat-out carry-on? Because normally he adds it in, or is it going to be in the next one, and I'm just missing it? Or is it that rock? No, I don't think it's that rock. Huh. Maybe just missing it. I'm probably just being an idiot.
Being a DPS is like being the king of capitalism, because the way you play, taking care of others, is for bitches. Pay no attention to anybody else's well-being unless it directly affects you, and so long as you're alive and safe, you can act like anything bad that happens around you is probably not your fault. All that brain power instead will be put towards what really matters.
What brain power?
Complicated as shit damage rotation. That's right.
Oh,
jeez,
that looks like
and healers 2 damage buttons. These are where the big guys and gals play. Or at least that's what they like to tell themselves, since one of the only party utilities they have to worry about is pressing the faint button once in a blue moon. Their hotbar will more often have dozens of buttons, all dedicated to big damage. The Meele DPS is...
Okay, 1. Cool. 2. Yeah, if you want to see me have a panic attack, just this right here. Hey, look at all those buttons you gotta remember. I'm assuming... Okay, they all seem to have general usage you move through, so it's only like 3 buttons at a time you have to keep track of, but then they change, and... Kind of reminds me more of like Guitar Hero, honestly. It's like, here's the notes you have to play. Make sure you watch the timer to get them in the best time possible. Yeah.
The buttons
all dedicated except it does big number damage, which honestly makes it better.
The Melee DPS is the most important person in the party, as you are the one on the front lines inspecting the bad guy's anus like it's where all the Hrothgar hats are hiding, while avoiding the enemy sprays of hot, poisonous gamer stink. Not only are you going to be up in their grill, turning their cheeks into a ripe tomato while flip-flopping in and out of danger,
you can see where you have to dodge right before
you're also going to make like an adult film star and learn positionals. Certain attacks in your damage rotation will require you to land them in specific areas around the enemy target, specifically the rear and the flank, in order to deal additional damage. How do you tell where those positions are? By the massive disembodied titty underneath the target. See this nipple? That's the front where the tank will be sucking on the sweet milkies that are tank busters. Which obviously means this conspicuous ticulus on the opposite end is the rear. What about the flank? That'll be on either side of the enemy. And if you're ever confused as to where each area begins and ends, a useful tip on how to tell is imagine there's a big X dividing each of the quadrants. Or you could just press true north and pretend positionals don't exist like it's an embarrassing memory of that time you did the Gangnam Style at school, unironically. The only time it isn't the case is when the enemy has a full ring without an opening, in which case you won't have to worry about any of of that guff, and you can just sit there like an off-tank who's actually having fun. Otherwise, between hopping back and forth in these two spots and running around catching up to the boss whenever the tank feels like doing cardio, your little wall's legs are going to get so much working out that they'll be thick as the milk from the teats of a whale made of molasses. Which is to say, expect to move a lot.
Goddamn, Jocat. 1, good workout. 2, the eyes in the bird hat are still really creepy. Like, that is legitimately kind of disturbing.
But what
if we just left him in there?
Place for a position or the boss is far away.
Just
remember the old adage: always be casting. Even if you're not able to land your positionals, or if the boss
that's a lot of
is too far
lasers.
away to make a melee attack, be sure to always be pressing your buttons no matter what. Unless you're a monk who has no ranged attack and you have to sit there thinking about how your job will inevitably be reworked yet again in the next patch. However, there is another
How many times has that
gamer
happened?
option that allows you to maximize the DPS you output at the risk of yourself as well as potentially everybody else. But it's usually the healers. This technique is called greed. The funny thing about AoE markers in Final Fantasy XIV is that they only ever mark you for damage if you are standing in them the moment they go away. This means that if you're fast on your fingers, you can stand there DPSing the bad guy while soaking in their radioactive orange juice until the very last second where you backflip out just as the dropkick of doom skims your fuzzy anime hairs and you don't
it's almost
lose
like
a second
Dark Souls
of
in that
uptime.
mistake, but you have way more actual modifiers.
If your timing is
Not
off and
modifiers,
you
but
spend just a
indications.
millisecond too long, you'll be covered in cheese puffs. You might even die, or in some cases you'll have to suffer a fate worse than having to read the entire 24-hour chat log of Limsa. Damage down. Shh, it's okay. Nobody's gonna take away your big damage numbers, Papa.
What's
Here to
Limsa?
make sure you don't greed too hard if you're not ready, okay? Okay. As the melee DPS, you also have first dibs.
Sorry, I've never seen Joe Crap do this kind of animation. Specifically, being nice. How bad is that Limsa thing? I'm assuming he's either referencing that or, you know, the fun class being made into absolutely useless if you can't actually do it right. Maybe both.
Here to make sure you don't greed too hard if you're not ready, okay? Okay.
Why is it called greed, though?
DPS, you also have
because you would
first
stay
dibs
in
on
there
limit break
greedily
against
trying to do
most
damage when
bosses
you
since
shouldn't.
yours deals the most damage, specifically when they're single. This is because when you hit the limit break button, you're not
that
actually
Orin?
attacking them, just showing them pictures of a happy, healthy relationship, and nothing hurts more than emotional damage. Just ask Airier.
Yeah.
But what are the individual jobs whom of
I have
which
no idea who that
melee
character is,
said
sorry.
up-close slappers to thine
I've seen this picture a
adversaries?
lot.
There are 5, and each one is a different flavor of
that a
anime
scythe?
edge. Monk, for those of you who want to go fast, having one of the shortest global cooldowns in the game means you'll be dealing out punches like you're a pissed-off caterer at a middle school sock hop. Instead of the traditional combos, each attack puts you in a specific stance. Bird, cat, and monkey. Each one combos into another attack that benefits from each respective stance. Your rotation will be all about swapping stances around more than a kid trying sick moves to impress their crush at a middle school sock hop. You also have perfect balance, which allows you to go freestyle and pick whichever stance you're feeling more at the moment without having to do any of the normal stance setup. If you
literally
the
just
same
put in
stance
wherever you
3
want to
times
fill it
during
in?
your freestyle, you get a purple token on your stylish moves punch card. And if you do 3 different stances during the freestyle, you get a white one. Do a freestyle with 3 unique moves one more time while you have both a purple and white tokens on your punch card, and you get to turn it in to make your crush dripping wet with damage because for some reason you get to kick them in the face. The only problem is you are the only melee without a ranged attack to keep your uptime. And although you do have a dash,
It is a little weird to me that monks wouldn't, because in most fiction of any variety, monks are the ones who do like the wind blade stuff or just kick someone so hard the air of it hits them as well. Or technically Dragon Ball Z, because technically all of them would count as monks. And some of them actually were monks, Krillin. Yeah. Just kind of weird that they're the ones without range. Just, yeah. Maybe it's more of an old Square Enix holdover than anything else.
that lets you zip around like Goku on a triple shot Ristretto down blend macchiato. If ever you find yourself without a target to punch during combat, you can call time out on
That's
your buff
cool
so they
and
stop
also
moving while you have a
edgy
little
as
cry
fuck.
because your crush rejected you at the middle school sock hop. Dragoon is
At the
probably
middle
the
school
most
rejection.
straightforward of the melee classes and the one most likely to have a tragic backstory. You've got a 5-button combo that swaps between hard slaps and sakura flowers and a handful of buffs that will turn anybody else in the party into your partner in dragon slaying. What kind of dragon slaying? That's up for you to decide, which you'll have plenty of time to do while you're suspended 20 moms in the air dropping in like a scantily clad human airstrike who's got a date with Nidhogg at 5 and a party at the quicksand at 6. Yes, the Matanga in the room. Dragoon has several damage-dealing jumps necessary to unlocking special attacks in their rotation that will lock you into an animation, which means you're stuck and unable to move out of your location while the boss is just about ready to piss all over the floor right before you land. So be wary when using your jumps, lest you fling yourself right into a danger puddle and perpetuate the tired singular joke the 14 community has for the class.
Just because Dragoon died a lot does not mean all of us are floor tanks. Yeah, I died a lot in this one, but not because I'm a Dragoon. Oh, floor tank, because he's flat on the floor dead. And the Dragoon being carried by everyone. Name a more iconic trio. Oh, wait, because he's dead. I'm going to jump. Do a flip. 17k DPS, orange bar. Backflips off a cliff. What? You can actually jump out of map? No, seriously, you can actually jump out of the map? Are you able to walk off it too? Oh shit, this game would be unbeatable for me. I die in games a lot by not looking at where I'm walking and falling off cliffs. I have died more in Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne by doing that than from bosses. I mean, I died a lot to the bosses too, but also, goddamn gravity, man.
On the bright side, though, you do get the objectively best job mentor in the form of...
What?
Ninja is great for people who enjoy American football, because for every 10 seconds of excitement, there's a minute of fuck all. Your rotation is all about fitting every goddamn cooldown you can into a small window of time where you make the enemy take more damage. And on top of that,
it sounds
you
like
also
football.
have the ability
Nothing's
to
happened. A lot happened. Nothing happened.
Do a bunch of hand gestures to cast magic attacks.
You
and also
actually do
drop
the
down
hand
into a low
gestures?
position and run with your arms flopping behind you in the breeze.
They actually Naruto run?
Objectively proves makes you go faster. You got 3 hand symbols, and depending on what order you do, you will make a different kind of anime reference. For example, going Chi Tenjin Tenjin Chi Chijin unlocks the secret dark ending of Korea in the house and causes the enemy to be susceptible to bonus damage. But maybe you're
that sounds like it would be very
painful.
painful.
Who are immune to A-rank powered life forms, so you'll instead have to go Tenjin Jin Chijin Chijin Ten Chijin Tenchi for 3 seasons of Sonic Underground, which will kick sand into their eyes with how fast you'll be running circles around the slowpokes. More or less, you'll have to do some...
You know, I was complaining when there's just like 3 buttons and you had to make choices, and now I'm looking at this and it's like, okay, they're all reactive. When I start this game, because I'm kind of acknowledging there's no way I'm not going to get out of playing it at this point. I need to make sure not to choose Ninja because that would kill me.
I'm studying up.
And ironically, I would have a
but
massive
here's
heart
secret
attack or a
cheat
stroke
sheet.
or something. No.
Only the final mudra in the sequence matters.
What?
Fuck, it's the skill floor police. Cheating.
Seriously?
Samurai, the job most
two of
likely to
anything
have
and
a dick
one that
measuring
actually matters.
contest
That
with a black
actually makes it
mage.
more
I'd be
cool.
careful though, their dad works at Square Enix. This weeb is the most selfish of the melees, as it provides no utility for the rest of the party and instead acts like the average soccer player, focusing on being the star of the show who gets all the attention, especially when it drops to the floor clutching its knee when somebody sneezes on them. Your attacks
Okay, one, I've heard about some of these soccer falls,
show who
but I
gets all the
didn't
attention,
realize just how
especially when it
bad they
drops
were.
to the
Like,
floor, clutching its knee when somebody
wow.
sneezes
Oh no,
on
they
them.
hurt my
Your
leg,
attacks
but also
contribute
my
to
arm, but also my head, but some yeah, it was definitely my leg, yeah. I kind of want to do this right now just because I'm so bad at this game. I can't help anyone else because I know I would fuck it up more.
Kink bar, which allows you to shame the enemy in a variety of ways, as your katana is also a substitute for a horny bat. So you remember how the monk has a punch card? Well, so do you, except yours is your sword and the punches are stickers. You have 3 basic combos, each one giving you a slight buff and slapping
literally
a
a red
sticker onto your
rocket.
katana. And depending on how many stickers you have, you will get one of 3 different rewards when you turn in your sticker sheet. With 1 sticker, you'll apply a dot that'll last longer than it takes to clean your room. Don't lie to me, I know a majority of my audience has depression. 2 stickers will charge up an AoE around you, and 3 stickers will make...
Oh, he went full on animation for this one. Okay, this is cool. It's a joke crap samurai? Oh my god! Oh, dude. This is actually unironically cool. And now the guy in red falls, or does Joe crap? They're both samurai. Guy in red. Dead.
Each sticker attack also gives you an additional separate sticker. And once you have 3 of those, you get to do an additional...
Oh my god, it's 2 attacks now?
And finally, the Reaper, the transfer student from Garlemald who got the rest to maul at the fact that they think they're better than the rest of the melees. Which I mean they are, but don't let any Reaper hear you say that. It'll go to their heads. Being the darkest and edgiest of melees means that your job gauge is the Dark Souls HUD. Similar to the Samurai, you build up a bar that can be spent on big slaps. And those big slaps give you edgy boy points that can be spent on additional big slaps. Except this time, they're coral blue number 5 semi-gloss lipstick. Once you've kissed enough boys to build up your fashion bar, you get to turn into a spooky ghost.
Oh, Reaper, Grim Reaper sides. Okay. It's actually a ghost.
The spooky slice.
It's the monster mash, basically, a redo of that.
Is
that a mecha bio monster? What the hell am I looking at?
You do the spooky slice.
That actually looks cool.
And now you know how to play Melee. You're welcome.
Hey, they put in the lands. God damn it, I'm going to have to play Final Fantasy 14, won't I? It looks so cool. Oddly enough, I'm thinking about playing more support class. Maybe like that one laser rifle person because lasers. Also because I suck at remembering to move. So not having to rely on melee would be a good thing. I know what I fucking suck at. That is one of them. Also, lasers. It's from the previous one of the healers, but still. Or I guess, yeah, healers. I want to do this. It looks so cool, man. God damn you, Jocat. I was hoping not to get another addiction. Now there is no way out of this. So if anyone has any suggestions on how to start playing, let me know. I apparently need it. And Jocat, god damn you. I was hoping not to watch this series and get into it. I knew I would fail, but I was hoping. I mean, it was a wrong hope, but I was still hoping. God damn, was this fun, though. If you haven't already, there's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And when you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And the next time one of these comes out, let me know. Because I only found out about this actually yesterday. But, I mean, I was still coming back home from the Techo convention. Stayed late with my wife. Did a bunch of things. Put some things up on Twitter. It was fun, but also, god damn, it feels too short, man. Probably because we only went Sunday. But we're going to ignore that part. But otherwise, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.